family to the Day Night Show matches. I'm casting tonight with Zero Lambda. Oh, because casting and observing for this particular match. The match in question is Bertrang versus Ottr. This is their third, so this will be a best of 5, and we're going to be playing in Heartless Swarm this time. So, as always, we have 4 questions for you. I want to hear your rank, your race, your region, and your favorite Twitch emote. We will start with Bert.
Okay, I am Silver League, North America. I play Terran. Used to play Zerg, but I hate injects. So Terran, so much easier. Injects are OP. Okay, just
you still believe in injects. You just don't believe in yourself.
No, I don't.
That's what
believe
you're saying.
injects. No.
Okay. Oh, that's sad.
They should be nerfed. 1 egg per inject. But
all right. So.
Anyway, so my favorite emote is probably the day save.
Oh yeah.
I always think like every single time I see that little save icon of the little diskette, I'm like, all right, like, like when I was growing up with computers, I did use diskettes every once in a while. But like, man, anyone like 4 years younger than me has probably never actually seen one in person or used it, unless, of course, they're awesome and have like really old computers at their school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually at a thrift shop the other day, and I found a diskette for McAfee. So it says there's actually instructions on it. It says turn off machine, insert this diskette into drive A, and then turn machine on.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to like.
You have to kind of boot it from the disk.
So
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Yep.
It's like it had some operating system in it. I remember the one time I really did use those is I had I think my cousin owned the original TIE Fighter on the DOS discs.
Oh really?
So it was like came with like 5 or 6 of the things needed installed from that. Looked super awful, but it was really fun. Really good game.
Yeah, the only time I've actually used them were probably in high school when I was in like the little Bobot competition where you make little robots that do stuff.
Mm.
And like the only operating system you could use was like Mac, and it was just I don't know, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. The olden days. I remember those old Mac computers. I think I only used one once. But anyway, that aside, we also have Ottr here with us. What are your answers?
EU Zerg, still unranked. I've almost started. I played 1 game. I was gold 2 seasons ago though, so I guess I don't know. Probably about there.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Favorite Twitch emote though. I'm gonna go with one TLO has in his chat because he actually has the little Carbot Zergling from the one episode where I think it was like a command center was trying to land. He looked in the camera and there's this little Zergling with these giant eyes, and he's looking up at it, and it's like the most adorable thing in the world.
Oh, show us this. Actually, I don't think I've seen this.
I like it. It's cute.
What's it called? I gotta look this up.
I think it says Dario Zerg on it. I remember, but yeah, it's the cutest little Zergling.
I remember that episode. The Marine was controlling the command center was so enamored he
Yeah,
forgot
it's like
about what he was doing.
And then a Marine ran underneath and he just squashed the Marine.
Oh, I found it. There's actually a website that has all of the Twitch emotes on it. At least it used to, presuming it didn't break.
Yeah, it's cute.
Oh, okay. Well, with that out of the way, then let's go ahead and move to map vetoes. Same process as always, except you will only veto 1 match each. So, rock, paper, scissors. Go.
Gotta pull you up.
Okay, tie on the first one. So go again, as I was saying. Go again. Okay. Otter went rock, and Bert went to scissors
No.
after tying twice. So, Otter, what would you like to do? Veto first or second?
I'm gonna veto first.
Okay.
And Inferno pools.
Okay.
I'll do Iron Fortress.
All right. Remaining maps for the games then will be Coda, Echo, Expedition, Lost Bonnie, and Cactus Valley. What would you like to play on first?
This is the best surprise, isn't it?
Otter. Mhm.
Let's go Echo.
Okay. Second,
Cactus.
third,
Expedition Lost.
and fourth.
Coda.
Making Bonnie fifth, of course. All right then. So just have to wait for the lobby to get set up here. While we are waiting for that to happen, let's actually take a look in the chat and see who's here. 'Cause I have not checked yet. Looks like just Gerthang, Loopy Loo, and Syracuse hanging out at the moment.
As always.
Crowd, the usuals,
Yes.
as usual. Invites sent late.
Oops. Oh, good. That didn't break everything. That brought, like, anytime you're joining a party, or that moment where you click on the SC2 UI somewhere on accident, and you're like, oh, I hope that doesn't break everything.
Crampy.
Thankfully, did not happen here. Anyway, as always, we remind you that at the end we ask the winner to come back for the post-game interview. If you don't want to come back, you don't have to if you lose. So keep that in mind. And we'll see you guys later.
Farewell.
Good luck, good luck. Alright. How you doing, Omega?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you? Is your mouth still numb?
Actually, it's working out today. Seems to be okay so far.
Yeah.
Last couple days have been acceptable as far as performance issues.
And that's good. That's good.
Checking to see if races and colors look good there from the players. We'll get started here.
Considering in the back of my mind lately that I'm like at the point where I think my motherboard's hardware limitations are maxed out.
Oh.
Essentially. So if I want to upgrade my computer, I pretty much have to get another one.
Oh no.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to probably stretch this one out until next year and then build another one.
Mine's still doing okay. I future-proofed the crap out of it, so I'm able to, with the new 970, I'm able to max out GTA still and run a solid 60.
Wow, nice.
So yeah, the i7 2600K is no joke, man. It's not even overclocked right now, and if I did overclock it, I'm sure that the performance would increase. So
yeah, and I mean, I've noticed the same thing. Like, I don't really have any limitations at the moment either. It's just that I know I'm like, well, probably got about a year before I get outpaced. Anyway, we have a match.
All right, into the game.
Top left part of the map, we have our blue Zerg player. It is Otter.
And our opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. The purple Terran player, live long and prospers, Bert. AKA the D-Kniggets.
The D-Kniggets.
The D-Kniggets, yes. D-K-N-G-H-T, D-Knigget.
So if you're Team Liquid's Kenneget and you want to make an amusing parody clan, you call it the Kennegets.
The Kennegets.
Can I get?
Can I get?
Yep. Yep. I
Right.
stopped saying that word because I missaid it in a way that was apparently vaguely racist sounding once to Case, and he died. He just like started laughing for 5 minutes straight.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, cool, I'm banning myself from saying that again.
Yeah,
But for those of you that were curious, Kenneget is, not Kenneget, but Kenneget is actually the, like, Old English pronunciation of knight.
It's actually Old English.
Yeah.
Legit.
That's
Really?
not, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my god.
It's not like a stupid retarded thing. It's just
I thought it was just
way
a
of saying
stupid
words.
retarded thing. That a Swiss cheddar and blue are all kinds of what? Bert says he does have a barracks on his ramp. Trying to psych out Otter here a little bit. She's not phased. She's going for a hatch first. Poor pool.
SCV actually scouting in about 45% of a very nice looking pentagon. Yeah, it's a very, very nice, sharp and accurate angles there.
Very good. We shall.
For a second, I was like, "Oh, is he going to draw shapes?" Oops, okay, got me all hyped up.
I know. We were just talking about that the other night, actually. How we would paint the Mona Lisa with shift-click rallies.
Yeah,
That sort of thing.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we should make this a thing and have a silly weekend where, you know, whoever doesn't do that right loses points or something like that. I think it would be amusing.
Called a style match. I have like this giant list of
Yeah.
things that you can do, and if you do them, you get points. And whoever gets the most points.
Manbon would pick up his landed Vikings and.
Sounds like something Manbun would actually do. I think that's what he basically did for the Fun Day Monday tournament.
Requiring people to do silly things.
It wasn't just whether or not you won for his tournament. It was whether or not you executed the, I guess, the Monday in the spirit of all kinds.
Oh no, he's really
style.
He's going
But
tech heavy.
Shed of blue. Basically, he's saying, "Do not cheese me. I am terrified to answer that."
Oh no, he's got 2 gases, so he's got quite a bit of so sad. He's got quite a few options here as far as tech is concerned. Yeah, he's got
2 gases, but he's just getting to barracks now. Like, maybe he wants to go up to Banshees, or he wants to do the proxy Thor stuff. I'm not sure. He doesn't have anything on the map though, so I don't think pursuing proxies. It looks like just bio. Maybe a fast drop. Meanwhile, that's good mind games though. Like, you do it to the right person, they're gonna be like, all the spine crawlers. You don't really need them.
Don't see any.
Nope. Otter's just like, I'm gonna build things.
Unfazed. He's pumping out Marauders here. He's got the concussive shells on. Yeah, quite a few of these actually. I think he's expecting roaches, which is a staple of Otter's army usually here.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's pushing for link speed, spawning Zerglings, and she's got 1 spine crawler.
Yeah, this is not necessarily a bad move if you're suspicious of anything that you've seen. And from her perspective, she sees no expansion at all from the Terran yet, and that is a little bit suspicious. So she's keeping an eye on things. There's still obviously a gambit of possibilities. You can see the factory coming out here next. Now we want to watch to see if a starport comes down and a specific tech structure on the factory at the same time. Oh, but we do see that the Terran Dodge supply block mechanic coming into play there.
Supply block mechanic, yeah.
It is a thing, though, I think, for most Terrans, that anytime you have to use it, you go a little red, because you know technically that it's a waste of money. So you're like, yeah. But
I gotta drop it.
stupid. Oh well. It's not as bad as being supply blocked, though, so you'll see him do it. Oh, nice little blast of Lynx here to see if she can get something done. There is a full wall off, though, so I don't think this will be able to do necessarily a lot of damage. Well, she is getting banelings. Okay, never mind. A solid baneling bust would do a ton of work here.
Ton of work. One Marine out here scouting out.
You have to be careful. Anytime you try to trick your opponent into thinking that you're cheesing them, they might just cheese you first.
So this Marine has no idea what's going on about 20 feet in front of him here.
Fog of War is a horrifying thing.
Horrifying. Yep. Baneling's morphing in, and this is going to be a pain for Bertrang once this gets up to the ramp. I mean, there are a lot of Marauders here. Money Widow Mine Shop, too, could take care of this.
Okay. That's a lot of dead lings, but not a lot of dead banelings. We're just going to walk right in, destroy the entire bio army. It goes down, but there's nothing else to back it up. So basically both players have traded their armies out. These two Zerglings are going to survive and be incredibly irritating.
We go. Pausing the command center here for a moment, and one Marauder's like, "Hey man, get the hell out of here."
You know, it looks like back home Ottr is seeing this as an opportunity to maybe build some more lings, throwing that. I don't know if she realized that the Widow Mine was there. She might not have seen that, as these lings will most likely get cleaned up before they get to the army with 2 active Widow Mines.
Run your Zerglings into there. Yep. Ideally, you want to lead one up the ramp, make sure that these Widow Mines are exactly where they are, and you can avoid them. But it's kind of hard to avoid these. A little bit of a choke. You find one, you find the other one.
But yeah, are we actually going to see her do that? No, she's sending them all up again. No. That's okay, though. Most of them survived, and Purelings a little bit better dealing with 4 Marauders than they would be against Marines. Less DPS, they don't die as quickly. Interestingly enough, she's not killing the worker, but looks like trying to actually force the destruction of the command center itself. Not really happening. However, the Lings ultimately not able to decide on a target, basically end up killing nothing. And the missile turret goes up below a bunch of overlords and kills one. Not a thing you often see in general, actually.
That's quite effective there. Not paying attention to those. One's moving for the high ground. He's going, "Oh, my butt. My butt.
Yeah.
It hurts."
No, Bobby. Bobby, no.
What? Oh, no.
It's the other overlord. We're gonna go eat coffee. We're gonna go drink coffee later.
No.
This one's like, there's a sensor tower, boss. You can see me. We should probably do something about that. Anyway, yeah, more links coming out from Ottr, as well as 2 evolution chambers implying some upgrades. So I think we're going to see a 3rd expansion here fairly certain from her as she moves forward into the tech tree and building up her army. Both players kind of not in a position to really damage the other. However, Bert, because of his extremely defensive-oriented opening, he's pretty far behind on workers right now.
Oh, yeah, about 11 so far at this exact point in time. And Otter's moving into upgrade. She's got +1 missile, +1 melee coming out. She had centrifugal hooks a couple minutes ago completed. So it's going to great for, Baneling speed, get those up on top of the bio armies. They try to escape. Perfect. Moving straight up into Roach tech. Roach Warren, halfway complete.
I know it's called centrifugal hooks, but I honestly think of it as the roly-poly upgrade, because that's what it does.
The roly-poly upgrade, yes. Yes, they do.
Banelings go from wiggling around on the ground to rolling, and it's great.
Definitely turned into a roly-poly Baneling. Ooh, this overlord almost lost his life here.
And I wandered in. Was I able to see anything? Not really. I guess it just got driven off. Too bad. Well, you can see second. We have second factory coming up along with an armory. So there might be some intentions maybe to throw in Hellbats here. No, double armory. Oh, go and mech or air, I think.
Oh dear.
Mech.
Gonna mech it happen.
Gonna mech it happen.
It's gonna mech it happen.
That was awful.
Artosis. Okay. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's awful, but I approve. Yeah, says Bert. Oh, he messed something up.
He's got a supply block. Yep.
That's that fail.
Yep, that's
and
a bad.
Ottr takes this as like, oh, I guess it's a good thing I'm gonna attack you right now.
Exactly. The bad timing here for a supply block. These Banelings and Roaches and Lings all going to be moving up.
Maybe send 3 Lings up there, not lose them all to the Widow Mines.
Please do that this time, Ottr. Let's have one checking at the top of the ramp, because these 2 Widow Mines have been here. One of them has 10 kills, one of them has 15.
Oh my gosh.
20 Widow Mines. Oh no!
No. It's just the whole team. The whole team's going in. Check for a 3rd. There's gonna be like there's nothing.
No.
If you at least send the Roaches first, not the Banelings. No, all the Banelings died.
The Banelings.
Well, some of them survived, and the entire army is actually clumped up, so that's all she's gonna need. And that does it basically for the army, and this natural is gonna be kind of dose.
Nice. I think the supply blocks kind of did our Terran friend here.
50 supply to 130.
Yep, this is a pretty scary position. I mean, he's going to have to pull off a miracle to get out of this, and even then he's going to be so far behind.
Miracle AoE. That's what he needs. Is he gonna
Miracle
get it?
AoE.
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't sound very hopeful.
He's got two Thors
He's
here.
got flaws. Got flaws, but there's no repair.
There's no repair for the Thors. Oh my
No.
god, we're firing at the roaches. Nothing's happening. What's going on now?
Actually, they are killing a lot of Zerg units right now, and most of them are still stuck behind the supply depot. Ottr has realized that this is the problem. It is dead now. She is morphing banelings in his face. And more roaches are here now. I'm like, I don't care about you.
Oh, pulling SCVs to repair. If it bleeds, we can kill it, boss. We can do it, these Thors.
If only... they would maybe microed in.
Oh
So
no.
that more than 2 of them could fire at a time. It looks
no.
like Bert's actually gonna hold.
He's gonna hold with these 2 Thors, roaches screaming in one at a time. Banelings impacting on this giant health bar.
My center's like, shrug? Cool, back to work.
This is insane.
Now the thing is, he did just lose 28 workers. He's down to 43 supply. Yes, he held. But, like... It's kind of like saying, yes, we won the basketball game by pushing ourselves to our limits, and now 3 of our starters are crippled for life.
Oh no.
You didn't win. Not really.
Looking pretty bad here, Omega. I mean, I was rooting for the Thors, but... Oh dear.
Yeah, Ottr has a 70-ish supply lead and a giant bank, so she's going to have even more units in a moment.
You can see that push-shove there on the screen, the blue versus the purple. The blue is quite dominant.
This one badly. Bert feels like he's dead already. He can just hear it in that statement. And here comes the roaches. This time there's one Widow Mine there. It's going to weaken a couple, but there's no repairs for the Thors. There is some really nice micro, though, bringing that one too. The back, the other two getting a lot of shots off. It's like watching a couple of Mortals fight.
Oh, man.
And in fact, as long as none of them are focused down, they hold.
Holy crap, perfect. Bonus to armor showing its strength here.
Supply lead now reduced from 70 to about 50, 40, 50. Still a lot, and it looks honestly like Ottr... Is Ottr kind of larva depleting herself? Yeah, a little bit. She's down to 13, 14 larva, which might be why she's not been able to remax very quickly. Or oh, she's just going to go for a giant baneling bus. I wonder if this is the sort of thing where you're far enough ahead, or you think you might be, that you're just kind of fooling around. But... with most players, I would say that the thing is, Ottr has been known to kind of shoot herself in the foot sometimes, mentally. Not like within the game, but she'll think she's in an equal or worse position when actually she's ahead.
Yeah, actually, I mean, we've seen that a few times. She'll just GG, and it's kind of out of the blue. It's like, oh my gosh, you've got such a commanding position. You've got 5 bases.
Yeah, but she's getting... Oh, she's getting Pathrogen Scrange. She's going to be some infestors. I hope to see Neural. That would be very
like these
effective in
Thors,
this
yeah.
situation,
It
actually.
would. Bonus armor damage. One of those Thors, by the way, has 23 kills.
No, there's a Widow Mine. It hits it, goes off entirely on the Zerglings, and enough Banelings, folks, will kill anything, repair or not. All of the Thors go down except for one, which is probably going to survive because chokes are awesome like that.
These Banelings getting choked up. Oh my gosh. That whole army.
Supply lead's still about 40 more links coming in. There is no replacement for the Widow Mine, so... Second shot isn't coming out. There's no repair, but there is another Thor coming out. It has actually got itself in an extremely nice position. So superior positioning and defensive structures from Bert have allowed him to zombie his way forward into this game.
Oh
But
my
I have
gosh.
to say, it is still looking fairly terrifying for him at this moment in time.
That's incredible. Such a... Oh man. Pro positioning. I'm speechless. I don't have any words. Tasteless.
Yeah. I know Artos is... And no, seriously speaking, I actually, it is possible to lose from here if you're the person ahead, guys. It might not feel like it is, but this sort of thing gets you in trouble, and I can see Otter's plan now. It involves Ultras. This is a pretty good choice, but Bert is building the one type of unit that can deal with them.
He is building the one type of unit that can deal with them. Yep, and the crackling upgrade here coming on the way, and the chitinous plating for the Ultralisks. So 2 are ready to go.
Maybe we should just wait. Just throw a Zergling over to the 3rd. Keep one on the 4th. Wait. Wait, get all those upgrades, get the ultras, get the 200, and then what? He's gonna have like 110 supply. You won't be able to stop that.
Exactly. I mean, she's the perfect position. I mean, this is the Zerg dream here, going 4 bases, go 4 bases strong. I mean, larva everywhere.
The Terran is still essentially on 1-1. Yeah, he has +2, but that's on his bio, which is not really his main damage at the moment. Otter's gonna have 3-3 on this next attack. Hopefully, she waits until then. That would be. Well, she can hit this. This he won't be able to protect. There's no convenient chokes here.
Nope, not for this one. I mean, one Thor is not going to stop the entire Zerg army, but if if she's not paying attention, she doesn't know this exists. She checked up there before and didn't see anything. Does she not expect him to continue doing that?
I think once this sensor tower completes, she'll know, though. Like, that's going to give it away entirely. Anyway, there's a bunch of ultras coming out. The upgrades are going to be done. She's going to be at max supply. I think she's just waiting for the ultras, and then she's going to go.
A pretty smart move. Get those ultras up front. Yeah. Ooh, Toresque skin looks great in the dark blue, I have to say.
29 larva as well. She'll be able to remax really easily. And here comes the attack. She threatens to go down to the natural, but does not. Instead, it's like, I know you have this. It is mine. I claim it. The Zerg Swarm. All of your SCVs belong to us. However, Ottr has one problem right now, in that she's actually at 95 workers. So if Bert somehow doesn't die right now and builds up a large enough army, it might be the only army that he's going to have, but it's going to be the largest army possible.
I'm not going to pick up a bunch of these links. Good, they're on cooldown now. Baneling's rolling and destroying everything.
They're going to go down. They're going to kill all the repairing SCVs as well. And there's probably no way to survive this situation, honestly. Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. That bonus armor damage not quite enough for the Titan's plating.
Force supply, and...
and GG, Bird taps out. Game 1 goes to Ottr. Quite handy.
My goodness. I almost want to look at... Before I tab out of this screen, graphs, I want to look at... Not graphs. Score summary. Oh, does it not have units lost on here? I guess it doesn't. You can look at the army value graph. It's sort of interesting. Bert's kind of stays at a baseline, and then Otter's goes up, and then comes back down to the baseline, and then goes up, and then comes back down to the baseline.
kind of fluctuating a little bit.
Yep.
Otter saying the Thors scare the crap out of her, which they should, because one of them became a commander before the game was even halfway done.
I feel bad for most of these StarCraft units. They never get to enjoy their promotions.
No, it's like, I'm a commander now. What do I do? I'm going to die. Today is a good day.
It is a good day to die.
Alright, so Bert's going to take a quick break here, so we got time to kill time, and I've got time to take a drink of water. Water. It's good stuff. Who we got in the chat? We got Mr. Gerthang. Nice to see you, sir. Glad you could take a moment out of your busy day today. Yeah. And Loopy's there. Can't see him, but he's there.
The shadows, yes.
Shadow Loopy. Ominous Shadow Loopy. Alright, cool. So game 2 coming up on Cactus Valley Ladder Edition. 4-player map. Should be interesting to see the early game for these two players, not knowing exactly where their opponent is right off the bat.
You know, I think that it's obvious that the conventional wisdom on these maps is usually to go for standard play, just because if you are going to go for that cheesy play, you are rolling dice. But if you meta the meta, if you think about it, they're not going to have defenses. So if you do roll lucky on their spawn positions, you just like a guaranteed victory, essentially. That said, it is risky. I don't think either of these players are probably going to go for that sort of deal in this. If there's a Protoss player, you might see it, because again, I probably mentioned it in the past, but the only thing that's, if you're going to do like a gateway push, the only thing scouting them later is probably going to hurt is your ability to get up the pylon, because they'll see the probe.
Yeah. I mean, there's potential to get a lucky scout off, especially if you see the angle that worker's coming out on. Sneaky catch there.
Yep. You go to that awkward moment when you both show up at the second base at the same time. You're like, hi.
Yeah.
You're on the other side of the map. Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
I love it too
See you there.
when they pass each other and they kind of high five and they bump heads and then they
Yes.
leave and none of the players are looking at them, so they don't know.
I mean, if you think about it, high fives, like, that was the whole thing with the overlords, because they would pass right next to each other.
Yep.
And then there's the other one where they hit each other directly, and people were like, it's the overlord kiss. I'm like, no, they're fusing into each other
You know-
vertically, and then going out the other side.
One thing I've noticed is we used to have ZVZ up the wazoo, and these days there have been no ZVZs.
It was a lot of our Zerg players, I think, either got I think a lot of them either switched races or moved on. It's the way it is at the moment.
Totally possible. Right, so starting off in the top left-hand corner of the map, the blue Zerg player taking game one is Ottr.
In the top right of the map, we have our opponent in the purple, still the Terran. It is Day Night Bert.
That Thor play last game, I have to say that was pretty stellar. Whether it was intentional or not.
Well, no, I mean, his positioning was extremely excellent, and Ottr was focusing on macroing, as she should, but as a result of that, it took a little longer to pull that game out. But because she focused on the macro, though, I think that was ultimately the best decision. That's how you get the victory.
So good, just
keep throwing stuff at them until they die.
sure, for sure. Overlord moved across the map, going in the wrong direction, unfortunately, this time. They spawned horizontally, and Bert's scout also headed to the same spot. Gonna beat the Overlord easily.
Come to think of it, I think a lot of what happened is a lot of our Zerg players started playing random, actually. And that's kind of why we don't see it as much. Not necessarily because there's less of them. They're playing other races.
No, Bertrang, do what you gotta do, buddy. I'm not telling you to switch to Zerg. Protoss brethren.
Yeah, we don't mind. Actually, well, I was just gonna say personally, I don't mind. I enjoy casting any of the matchups, so it's not a big deal to me.
No, it's definitely great. I just noticed that when we first started the show matches, I think you had a good point. Was people fans of Day 9. Day 9 played Zerg usually when he was pro player. So naturally, fans of Day 9 would try to go for the same race. I'm a fan of people like Artosis and MC and you got Hux. I mean, they're Protoss. Naturally, I want to do a Protoss thing. You learn from people you observe.
Yep. I mean, admittedly, I did study a little bit of like Rain and the Koreans, but when back in Wings. But I did watch Artosis most of the time. I enjoyed his stream the most. I still do. He just doesn't stream very much anymore.
Yeah, no, he's quite busy living in Korea. He's got a family, things like that. Casting the GSL takes up a lot of your time. Not a lot of personal streams going on. But on that note, though, I do have to say it's nice. Huck is streaming recently. Actually, today, too, during the Heroes NA Open, he was casting.
Really?
Yeah, he was casting Hero games today.
Missed that.
Yeah.
Better tell me where that was at. I'll go watch it.
It was, I will get you the stream, but it was Jake something GG. It was part of the Heroes community. It's a round of 28 currently, or 128, so you're not really missing a whole lot. I think it's a best of one at the moment. In a MOBA, best of threes take a while, so.
Yes, even that one. Though I have a feeling we'll see more longer series for Heroes than we would for like League or Dota, just because the games do end in about StarCraft time.
Yeah, no, and it's totally great. It's easier to observe that way. Your viewers don't get fatigued either. So
I think what the killer with that so far has just been the length of time that they spend on bans and picks. They give, for example, if you watch Kaldor's stream, they instead of having like 30 seconds per pick, it's something more like 50.
Oh, wow.
And then a ban phase on top of that. So it adds like 10 minutes to the proceedings.
So, get back to this game here.
It's really funny to watch, though, because Kaldor is German, and therefore he gets really angry when things don't go on time. So when they're just like, he's like, well, I don't know. I would pick Rhaegar in this situation. I don't know what they're thinking about right now. I mean, there's really a lot of other things they can go for. Maybe they're going to do something tricky.
Oh, he's one of
and
those...
why are they just like, he's like counting, they're like using the remaining time, like all of it. Probably discussing what the other team will do, just a plan. And then they pick Rhaegar and it's like, see, I don't even know what all the fuss is about. He just like throws his hands up in the air and then they continue to cast.
That's pretty awesome.
But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So yes, as I was saying, back to this game of StarCraft. I love Heroes and everything. We need to cast those soon. But Bert is piling up on the Reapers here. It's kind of scary, especially as Zerg. You know, you get the light units, the Zerglings running around trying to get map control, and especially if you've gone 3 hatches.
I don't know about you, but anytime my opponent tries to have a conversation with me, I start to suspect I'm going to get attacked.
Yeah, he's still pumping out Reapers on this reactor. Yeah, that's definitely what he's doing. He's stalling for cheeky time.
Lab.
Yep.
I wonder if he's going to transition into stim play from here. Like, he doesn't really need many more Reapers to one-shot workers, which I think is what he's going for. But there's an Overlord right there.
He's also getting +1. So this is gonna hurt. This isn't gonna feel very good if he gets these on top of the Zerg base. Lots of drones coming out from Ottr. You don't see really any army supply. You got 6 army supply.
I think if she had her second queen down in the natural, though, she could probably hold this. No problem. But they'll be able to just wander in and kill the queens. It's going to be kind of awful.
Yep, there's going to be quite a few. You know, a lot of surface area. They've got pretty decent range in that upgrade. It's going to be tough. I mean, this Reaper count continues to climb.
And technically, Ottr did scout this.
Yes.
She did see Reapers running under one of her overlords. So the question is whether or not she, quote-unquote, saw it with her eyeballs. But rather than just like her units seeing it. But she's getting a roach warning. Once this pops out, that will kind of shut this down. Those things cannot harm roaches, really.
Nope, not really. The armor is pretty good. Pretty good.
Armor good unit.
Yes.
Task Marauders in Legacy of the Void. By the way, they are putting a counter to that in now.
Counter? Uh-oh.
Yeah. Ghosts are going to have a new ability. Allows them to put a drone on a target, which depletes their armor by 2.
Oh.
Now, obviously, people make a big deal out of it with the Ultras because it's the first thing anybody's going to use it on, but it applies to anything.
Oh.
So you could do it to buildings. You could do it to other armored units.
Can Nova get that in HOTS? Oh, that would
Probably
be awesome.
not.
Oh, that would be sick.
Anyway, giant mass of Reapers wanders into the third here, kills off the queens, gonna kill off all the workers. She could run these, but they're all gonna die. Like, there's no way those are getting away. Those aren't Thors!
She says, those aren't Thors.
But 10 roaches are being made. The question is, well, how much will she lose before it comes down to that?
Oh,
one base is worth her workers gone. Second base is going to disappear very quickly here. Oh, she's actually gonna go for the... Nope, she's trying to bunch them up to make them harder to target. Problem is, that's not gonna matter. They're just actually gonna die really quickly. Wow, look at that.
Oh my god, 33 workers have lost their lives. Roaches, actually, there are just so many Reapers here, they die immediately.
Wow,
As
she
they
has
pop out.
enough to kill them. Now, if Ottr can't stabilize here, obviously the game's gonna be over, but even if she does, she has to have enough units to counterattack.
Oh, playing around on creep.
And she's gonna... Nope, it's not a full wall up, so they're not gonna get stuck. She is killing them off. The problem is, though... Well, actually, no. Ottr still has 30 workers. So she can survive from here. It's because she has this extra hatchery. It's keeping things going. Bert on the back of this does have a natural, though, and he is equal, basically, in supply to the Zerg. It's not where the Zerg wants to be. That means the Zerg is a little bit behind, but the game is not over yet. It was looking really dire there for a second.
Yeah, oh man, that was brutal. But she's got quite a bit of larva, and she's keeping up on her injects here. Queen's energy's pretty low, so she can replenish that worker supply very easily, especially with 3 bases.
Yes. But I think she's rather wise in going for more army units here. Clear the map out, make sure that there's no more potential threat from additional Reapers or from a second stage attack going on. Unfortunately, she didn't check the watchtower, so Bert knows this is coming, and he's got more than enough to deal with it. The Lings are going to get there by themselves first, going to encounter the army. The army's going to kite back against the Lings, kill them all pretty easily, not really taking any losses. She should probably run the roaches back.
Oh, pull these roaches back. No bonus armor damage coming down on these roaches, and they all get shredded.
Yeah.
The other ones see their buddies die, and they go, oh, hell no.
Swarm has changed the rally point to not suicide.
Not suicide, very good.
Yeah.
Now, rally points...
But, unfortunately, Bert's not building any more workers. This
Uh-oh.
means that Otter's econ advantage should be coming back, though. She doesn't really need to attack. She has no idea about that, though. She doesn't know he's not building an econ advantage.
Eesh.
He's building a tech advantage. I think he's going to try and go for a timing attack here pretty soon, where he's going to try and just get Ottr before she can have adequate defenses up.
She's still way ahead in workers. More larva's popping out. She's got the means to replenish, but yeah, I don't think that mindlessly throwing these away is a good idea. It's good she's got him rallied out front of the base now rather than front of his. Rally points make quite a bit of difference. We've seen a lot of games lost that way, just rallied on top of the current engagement. They arrive one by one, and it's easy to focus fire one at a time.
Yep. It's an all too common fate for many players in this game. So that said, folks, yeah, if you start losing engagement, the first thing, believe me, grab your rally points. Then grab your army. Your army's probably not even going to get away anyway.
No, not in this stage of the game, not with this many marauders on the map. And a couple reavers too, actually able to scout ahead for this.
This is going to hurt. I don't think she can stop this from killing her third. I really think she should pull her units back into the natural the instant that this hits and just try to buy time.
Circumventing the frontward scouts, they're going to get into the natural.
Sure, I like that so much. It's going to pull Otter's army into the natural, which is good, I guess, for Bert's attack here, but in fact, he's going to wait for them to start getting damaged, and here comes the attack.
Here they go. These marauders moving in. That poor queen dies again. Stem down these drones. 21 workers, just like that.
A lot of stim being used, but that's going to run out long before the roaches happen. See if he stims again. He does.
Gotta be careful though. He's playing around on creep. Lost a lot there.
Unit's getting pretty bruised up, and now there's more links popping out. And yeah, since they're so damaged, I don't think he's going to be able to finish off Ottr with just this force. I'll take a little bit more than that. And Otter's thinking to herself, now, I'm losing this base over and over again. Maybe it's just time to get aggressive. F your lava!
F your lava, he says.
Perhaps you should not have typed. Thus, I did also speaketh when my merged in one of my heroes games earlier decided to watch me die. Because he was telling everybody that we needed to stay together.
Oh.
And I was like, no, save me!
I hate that. My tank is typing. Where's my tank? Uh-oh.
I didn't want to say anything because I was just like, it happens. It's fine. And he probably felt really silly because after that he only pinged. Nobody criticized him for it. Stops typing, though.
He never spoke again.
Probably because he saw me die and he was like, oops. Oops.
Oh, no.
Oops. I'm bad.
So, I think right about now would be the time for Bert to move to a third base. He's kind of secured this advantage, get a base up on the Zerg, but he's content to keep pumping out army. This macro is going to disappear real fast, though. He's
having that feel. Oh, he's starting mind games. There's no drop coming. He's not even building medevacs.
There's no starport on the map.
Yeah, I think he's got that feeling that he's close to winning, and it's something I like to call Berserker Rage. Where you're just about to win. It's right there in front of you. And you can't help but keep slamming your face into the defenses of your opponent until, unfortunately, they catch back up. Now, in this situation, that's exactly what we're about to see here, because he's going to go for that attack against the third that he thinks is there again, but this time, there's explosions waiting for him instead of buildings.
I would love to see these banelings burrow. I would love to see banelings,
She's also probably going to lose an inefficient amount. Oh, they're just going to walk over their base race time. Here we go.
Oh. Yeah, Marine moving out, checking the fourth location on the left-hand side of the map. And while this is all happening, there's a pain train.
Really like the positioning of that third if the army wasn't behind it. Because I was going to say that actually protects the third in theory, but there's an army back home. So, let's see who dies first. The answer, by the way, is going to be the Zerg. It's a candidate.
Yep. And the roaches can't shoot up.
So she really should just clear this and run back home because there's... Well, clear this and maybe the production and then go back home.
Yeah, this is going to be a little dicey here for Ottr. I don't know if she's going to have enough time for this. Marine picking down all the supply. There's no...
She's got that base out there. She can run across the drones to the corners of the map. She should be able to build up her buildings again. She's got enough to build a hatchery as well. So that's kind of really the key thing here. The question is whether or not she'll be able to kill Bert's army after this is all said and done. And so far it's looking like that's probably going to be the case. She doesn't really have any more banelings, though. It's going to be a little bit close. A lot closer than she would like, for sure. Bert's doing the same thing. He's going to kill the tech structures. By the way, baneling nests are really gross when they explode.
Yes, they are. And so we're spawning pool. Oh man, he's just sitting right on top of this player. Terrible. Roaches going in, picking apart what they can, but
Every unit that is able to pop out and kills another Zergling is really helping Bert's odds here. Also, he probably should lift a couple of those production structures and run them away. But, you know, he's not going to do that. There's 41 army supply left for Zerg, 45 left for Bert. Standard understanding of the various armies would imply that the greater efficiency of the Terran units should give them the advantage in direct combat here. But, of course, we all know that a human's ability to micro ends up being kind of important in that estimation as well.
Oh, Bert's trying to land
But
that.
he doesn't know about that base. He didn't check that location for potential third, and ironically, his command center is going to find it. He's let all of his production structures die. I think he's going to notice this now and probably lift one of these while it's burning down.
Oh, he's checking the
Or
spot.
he's going to kill Otter's last building because she hasn't run any drones out onto the map. There's nothing else. This is it. That's GG.
Otter GG's with a smiley face there. Bert takes game 2, tied it up.
Interesting game, that one. Very interesting. Time supply cap. Well, yeah, that got really boosted up at the end just because Otter lost all her supply. Okay, we have a short break on map here. One of the players wants to step out for a second.
He's
So,
taking a quick marine break, huh? Bio. Sorry.
I'm not gonna take the
Just
joke.
slap me when that happens, would you?
Nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh.
So the PTR for Heroes will open in 9 days. It's gonna have the Butcher, the new map, and all that stuff on it.
Oh, that's gonna be beautiful. You gonna take part?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have the files for the PTR downloaded. You can't log into it because it's not set up for anything different than the main game. But yeah, I took care of that. BNet app doesn't download correctly still
Oh,
for me.
I'm so sorry.
I had to sit there, and the thing is, it's developed a new problem.
What's that?
Since I use CC Cleaner, instead of just being able to restart it now, once the problem occurs and gives me the error message, if I try to click on the button that lets me see what the error message is on BNet, it breaks Chrome. And the only way to fix it is to kill the agent downloader,
Oh, that's
which
terrible.
then fixes Chrome as well.
That's strange. It conflicts with that.
Yeah, there's something going on between Chrome and BNet, I think.
I know I had a strange issue with Chrome, and oh, what was it? It was another program, but I found out that it wouldn't even open the program unless Chrome was closed as I was opening it. And once it was open, I could open Chrome again. Something. I don't know if it's a Google service or something.
Yeah, it might be. It might be their update service that's causing it.
Yeah, probably.
That's always running in the background.
Yeah, same with Adobe. Adobe's stupid Acrobat updater. I gotta kill it every time it starts my
I switched
computer.
to Foxit Reader a long time ago and stopped using Acrobat.
Yeah.
Though the thing is, Acrobat is probably better. Though.
Oh, it's super great. I love Acrobat. It's just you never know when Adobe's going to throw the patch at you, and you have to go straight to the website. I hate when you click update, and it's like, okay, I'm going to open
by
your
the way,
browser.
On that note, the Windows 10 upgrade, I was actually looking through it again. Not Windows 10, Windows 11. It does say on it that it will download the files, and then you can choose whether to install it right away or not.
Oh,
So I'm assuming the thought there is they're just recognizing that it might be a broken mess when they first put it out.
totally okay. I mean, Windows has been broken before.
That's cool. It's fine. We'll live. Anyway, in the bottom left part of the map, we'll see if our players will live. Specifically, Ottr, the blue Zerg.
And in the top right-hand corner of the map, our opponent spawning as the purple Terran player this game, taking game 2 with Marauders as Bert.
I think we got to talk about some real important things right now, namely that we see extremely realistic APMs for this time of the game, currently 19 and 6. 6 being the kind of APM that you need to build workers and stir your base. 24 being probably the kind of APM you need to set up screen hotkeys.
Yes, totally true. Or,
But,
or, you know, take time to type.
Of course, if you're watching me play, it'll go up to about 200 briefly because I start practicing the rotation, the fingers. Not necessary at all, though. It's starting to go up a little bit. Then 72. All right.
Yep.
Useless thing to talk about in the cast, but whatever.
Oh my god, look at that APM. It's going up so... yeah, it's gone.
I do remember a couple instances when they used to show that in GSL. For fun. They would pop it up. The Protoss would be like 5. And then the Zerg is like 600 because he's just mashing the keys.
Mashing the keys like V, 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 ah. Oh.
So they stopped doing it. I think it was like Tasteless Zarathustra was like, yeah, it's kind of silly. So no need to really look at it.
Now here, poising for a hatch first.
Kind of.
Jeez, yeah, there's that Pentagon again.
I'm amazed that he does that accurately. Look at that.
Get off of my lawn, she says. Saw that go down. Saw that go down. It went down in the hood.
Get off my lawn, but it's so pretty.
Purple and grassless.
That bug thing you see inside the hatchery when it's growing is like the basis for all Zerg structures. So that's the thing that's like the skeletal thing that floats above the Banling nest as well.
Like a defiler, actually.
Kinda, yeah. I wonder if it's intentionally supposed to be one. Whoop, got bigger. Okay.
Yep, moving slower, very, 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 very creepy.
Well, Bert's got a gas up. He actually just finished it, so he's going for a little bit more of a marine mineral heavy opening. Mashing for a faster command center, perhaps.
Gotta mine those Marines, man. Gotta mine them.
Yep, sacrifice to the Terran gods to create a new command center.
It sounds like Warhammer. All the
Admittedly,
Empire.
a little bit. I'm actually still pretty excited to play that like Warhammer Total War game. It's gonna be like the Total War series, but with the structure of the medieval Warhammer series.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was watching you play the actual version on your stream.
That's the sci-fi one. That's Warhammer 40K. It's actually different.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's supposed to. I guess it's supposed to be later in time when they all have advanced technology. But Warhammer itself originally was more along the lines of like Lord of the Rings, but brutal. And you thought Lord of the Rings was brutal? No. Warhammer goes further. But actually, yeah, it's much more high fantasy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, looking at, Lord of the Rings is actually quite tame. I mean, as far as the violence, it's more political about giant armies colliding and Sauron moving in the shadows and sort of thing. It is not really. You don't really see people get decapitated or.
No.
Not like Game of Thrones backstabbing poison type stuff.
No. Though if you want that and you want a Skyrim experience at the same time, play Witcher 3, because that's what it is. It's a really good game.
Does it tie in from 1 and 2?
It does, but you don't need to have known anything about it. I can confirm that because I barely played those games. I watched a little bit of one playthrough that someone did.
Okay.
And then I jumped into it without having played 2 yet. I have to. I haven't played it yet. And fills in the gaps nicely. I think it's fun. And all the storylines in it are so well told that it's like you just feel absorbed into it anyway. Like, I imagine if you're less into the series, the side content is probably going to appeal to you a little more than the main content, but it's good. It's like Skyrim in that sense.
Yeah, I love Skyrim, the way the open world is. It was so shallow. I mean, it's a mile wide, but an inch deep.
Yep.
That's what mods are for.
Thankfully, this game is a mile wide and a mile deep.
Mile deep. That's impressive. I mean, games these days don't do that.
Everything feels like it has depth to it. Yeah.
Gerthang agreeing with you. Witcher 3 is an excellent game. He's actually playing 2 right now.
2's good too. 2's a little bit different though. It's a lot more linear. There's not really exploration that goes on as much, but it's still a good game. It's cool.
So, players here macroing up. Bert just dropped an expansion. He's got a couple Marines out front. Just paying attention. Got a bunker. Ottr, actually, much in the way army. Put up 2 spine crawlers just in case.
No, she does. She's going up to. She's grabbing more work. I was going to say, yeah, she's focusing on the long game right now, picking up the 2 evolution chambers for upgrades. I'm imagining teching up a little bit here. She has so much gas.
Yes. Good for
I feel like there was an error in the build somewhere. Maybe.
Mutas this game would be sick. He's not expecting that. He usually goes pretty heavy Marauders. Expecting roaches. Got double Evo chamber coming up too, as possible.
Do you go double Evo when you go Mutas?
Maybe if you want to link Muta.
Maybe, yeah.
Get the double upgrades, and she's going up to layer now, so it's totally possible. Still stockpiling that gas.
Yeah, to be honest, I think I agree with you. Unless we see a Roach Warren come down and sort of suddenly diving into.
Nope, she's going range.
But she has both attack upgrades. That's probably an error. Bet you one of those is not supposed to be there.
Nope, Roach is coming out.
Nope,
Ah,
it is.
Oh, well then. All right, so...
Cool. Well,
Just-
I don't
just called
understand
it.
what she's doing. That's
Yeah.
fine. Back home at the Terran's base, we have a lot of Widow Mines and 2 bunkers going up. So I think it's pretty obvious he's like, I could get attacked right now, and that would be bad. So on the back of this, he looks like he's transitioning into some mech technologies, the siege tanks. It worked out pretty well for him last time. I don't really blame him.
Yeah, no. I mean, siege tanks are going to be even better. There's more range, and they still have the armor bonus. It's going to be perfect. Salvaging a bunker, he didn't like where that was placed, and he's quite heavily fortified here. He's ready for anything. Roaches and Lings hanging out here on the creep, waiting for their command.
Jawclad? Sorry.
You called me.
Jawclad. Sorry. I was thinking about scouts from Brood War. They had the craziest looking animation on their portraits because like they just had such super bright colors to represent them like flying past stuff.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, I
they
remember
talked.
that. It's awesome. I like the wraiths too. They're very stoic. Wraith waiting out your orders.
Mm-hmm.
Good, pretty good. More tanks up the front, double bunker. He's expecting. He's expecting something. This would be perfect for Ottr to jump up on 2 more bases or something.
Yeah. That's the worst case scenario would actually be Mutas right now. Fly in on the right side of the map.
Oh yeah.
Protection kills all the
Oh,
add-ons.
that would be so scary. You know, she's still got so much gas. It's ridiculous. I mean, she's got to be planning something late game. Infestors, something.
It could be, or maybe she accidentally left her workers in the initial geysers for too long, which happens sometimes. Still, she had 1,000 for a second there. Yeah, it looks like Roach.
Spire, there it is.
Roach Corruptor, maybe? Roach Hydra Corruptor. There's no Hydra Den, though.
It would be good to stop production. Just kind of contaminate those buildings and stuff like that. I should be. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing.
That would actually be kind of a hilarious strategy to actually revolve around.
You know how frustrating that is? It is so scary when an overseer, your opponent as a Zerg focuses on your production like that. They attack your front, overseers fly into your main base as a Protoss player, and they poop on all of your freaking warp gates.
I actually wonder how successful that would be. The problem with it is that you need so many overseers, and it's a lot of gas. But like, if you did it enough, and then you like only targeted their upgrades, so that when the actual fight happens, they're on like 1-1 against 3-3.
Oh,
that's the dream right there.
Yeah, that would be nuts. Perfect timing there for that sort of thing. Get the upgrade advantage just because you stopped theirs.
It's definitely not what I would call a good play, though. Like, yeah, okay, cool. You spent 300 gas on overseers that hopefully don't die flying over the Terran's base. And then probably a little bit more gas to actually get the Overlord's speed.
Yeah.
Because you're going to need that, or they will die. Absolutely. And what could you have done with that instead? You could have gotten Hatchery. Could have gotten a couple other upgrades for your army. Maybe a couple more mutas. Like, that's the problem with it. That's why no one does it. However...
I want to say, Bert here, he's taking a note out of my grandparents' book. He's focusing all on the front door, and he hasn't locked the rear. The back door is never locked at our our house. Tried to misplace in house, and that didn't work out. But, yeah, back door. I mean, if he barely see over this, if Ottr positions just right around that geyser, takes down those rocks, floods in, these siege tanks are going to have a hard time getting out of their position.
Ottr is actually also almost doubling Bert's supply. I think he's waited a little bit too long to get an expansion now.
Yeah, that's pretty... He's turtling up. He's got missile turrets all over the base. And just... I don't know.
I guess he wants to move out with this, but this is going to be pretty tricky. There isn't a lot of cover for these siege tanks. And now that Mutalisks are in play, looks like we were right about that. We just had the gas way in advance for him.
Getting the flyer attacks coming down.
And the thing is, all of his defenses are just totally, like you said, they're isolated at the front. Now he's realizing this, so he's starting to put more down, but it's too little too late.
No, he's gonna...
In fact, he's just going to target the back door entirely with all of her ground units as well and simply walk right in.
This
Bert
is so scary.
Not
oh, man.
Unsieging. Uh-oh.
He's not paying attention.
Uh-oh, and then here comes the attack. No!
Oh, no, the
back door!
floodgates are open. The Zerg moves in.
And there goes his upgrades. Those are going to die. There's not going to be +2 armor. Maybe +2 attacks will finish. No. Okay. Okay. This is terrifying. I mean, he's probably really secure down there. There's so many siege tanks that I don't think Otter's going to get there, but she doesn't have to. She can kill any production she can get her hands on. Work flies down there, kill all the supply depots, and walk away.
So scary. And she can expand all across the map. She's got plenty of minerals for this huge bank for a Zerg player.
Knowing Ottr, having played Heroes and a lot of other games with her, she is not going to do that. She's going to try and kill these things head on, whether it works or not. Oh my god, that's a lot of explosions.
Oh no, everything.
Everything's gonna die except no. Yep, I was right.
Why? Oh.
However, there's yes. However, there's literally no production now. There's okay, not literally. There's a couple factories, but most of the production of Bert's army is gone. She'll be able to remax way faster than he ever will. And I love the choice of going for Mutalisks here. Get a lot of Mutalisks, a lot of Lings. In fact, just send the Lings around the back. He hasn't moved the siege tanks up there. Just harass anything that tries to rebuild. Now he's starting to move them. Okay, so the door is finally closing for that.
Yeah. Jeez, man. No production for the Terran. Still building. You know, the time he wastes building these add-ons too, he's not replenishing his army.
Oh man, Otter's also getting a bit tunnel vision-y. She should be grabbing a couple more expansions right now. She's gonna run out of money on her main. It's actually already half gone.
There's no way he can contest that either. He can't get out on the map, and those things are so slow. The Mutalisks would just pick off the tanks. Oh, and he's fortifying this position. Not planning on moving.
Well, Bert has decided to approach the game like a tower defense game. Eventually, their waves will stop.
Well, he's half right.
True. If she gets Broodlords, though, that will kill everything here. And he doesn't have really the resources to build in the Vikings to actually work really well in this situation. Even Swarm Hosts would be fine. Any kind of long-range siege unit in this situation will just wreck a turtling player.
Rest in peace, Overlord. He got some pretty important information there. I've noticed how fortified this position is now.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to just suicide Lings at it, and she isn't even going to try. In fact, she's just building more and more units. How many Mutalisks are we at? Looking at about 17. Half of what you need to have a pure mutable.
30 is a very, very scary number. Bert's still not moving out. He's got a little bit of a bank, and I think he's letting it go to his head. You know, I've got this bank here. I don't need to worry about this. He's going to mine out his main.
She's grabbing Banes. Like Baneling upgrades, I really do not like that in this situation at all. Tanks are insanely good against Banelings in these numbers.
Yes.
They'll just not get up here and they will not do anything.
Yes, yes. Unless she takes Vengeful Sacks.
Yes, unless she drops them on the army. Of course, there's so many turrets here, I'm not sure that's a good idea either. I mean, she could go to, say, like this location between the ramp of the natural node, the main, drop them off there and run them around. That would be pretty awful.
Oh. But
only into the main mining area, which is already mined out. Bert's kind of on one base, isn't he?
Kind of on one base, and the creep is getting to his front door too, so his options, as far as bases goes, they're dwindling.
Is that such an awful feeling when you see this right in front of your natural? You're like, oh, I can't leave my base anymore.
Definitely got a commanding position here. I would still like to see one or two more hatcheries. She's still flooding Zerglings. Almost maxed here. Now Bert's getting cloaked banshees now.
I think this is a good move. There isn't really any detection with this army. Oh, those Banelings are all going to die. I mean, they were anyway, but they're not going to kill anything. Most likely. Other than the missile turrets.
Yes, I mean, technically Banelings die no matter what they do, but the damage they do before they die is the important part. Creep Tumor
gets smacked down. Oh, here comes the attack. A lot of Lings shielding the Banelings for a little bit, and I guess there's just too much stuff here. My prediction is incorrect. It was incredibly inefficient for the Zerg to attack that way, but it does not really matter as the attack has now occurred. Cloak has not done the Banshees aren't going to get to do anything. Widow Mites have been started, but they're never going to come out. And we have a few more Lings going to run down to the main base and die just like they did last time, but they're going to kill a siege tank before they do. And
Zerg is
there
everywhere
goes
here.
up Spidey Post. Nice
Exactly.
GG.
GG. Ottr just content to flood the base, takes care of it. Wow.
That was extremely well defended front that never got attacked.
Crazy. Yeah, 2 bunkers, 2 full bunkers there.
So basically, Bert's strategy got kind of wrecked by the map there. If he had done that on Coda, it would have gone a lot better than, say, if he had done it here. But in any case, it looks like game number 3 is going to be picked up by Ottr.
Moving into game 4 of this best of 5. Ottr up 2-1.
You gotta put the next one out of me, boom.
Out of me, boom.
Hold on one moment. I need to let some people know that their match might be a little delayed. So 1 sec.
Sure. Check with the players, make sure they don't need breaks. And so far, so good. That is Coda. I want to let them know here. Boom, boom, boom. Load the game hard mod. Map 4 out of 5. Pretty excited. Potential for 5 games here. Players are fairly even. Even in matchup, I suppose. Still. Be interesting to see what game 4 brings. I don't know, I still think I'd like to see some proxy 2 racks action or 3 racks action.
Yeah, we haven't had anybody cheese, which is actually bad in a match of this size. Like, when you're going up to best of 5, best of 7, you need some in there.
Yep.
Gotta make them nervous.
Yep, and it would be perfect for Ottr in this case. You just finish the series now. Proxy spawning pool.
Worst case scenario, she just sets up a stronger macro game for game 5. Though to be honest, I personally don't want to see a early pool. What I want to see is a Baneling Ling aggressive attack.
Baneling
And
Ling.
even better, go for Bane drops. Nobody does it anymore, but it's fun and awesome and hella cheesy.
Very good. Let's get us started here. Players are prepared. Taking off into game 4.
Panda Marine versus Rainer. Looking at the icons. Chick, chick. Screenshotting it.
Yes, screenshotting it. That's right. No, I was actually taking a quick picture.
Yeah.
So here we go. Spawning us in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. The blue Zerg player Ottr looking to close out the series this game.
And in the top right of the map, we have her opponent, our purple Terran player. It is Bert.
Bird.
Bert.
Bird.
Bert.
Bird.
Bert.
Bird.
So what's Bert going to go for here? We have an SCV moving out a little bit quickly, but he's just going to throw down his Blighty Bow. Ottr is not doing anything crazy. Just getting an Overlord.
Crazy.
I have to watch to see if she does any early pool shenanigans or if Bert has anything amusing in mind, like with the Reapers, which, by the way, almost won the game.
Oh, yeah, that was so scary.
On
So
their
scary.
own. I mean, he did end up winning that game, but for other reasons, ultimately.
Those roaches hadn't popped out when they did. That would have.
Oh, did he intend on cheesing and just forgot to? But this, yeah, there goes the SCV.
Sure enough, this Overlord though is gonna spawn him. I don't know though. Or didn't click on that Overlord.
Yeah. Question is whether or not she was watching her mini map right then, which is not terribly much to look at this part of the game. So it's actually fairly likely. Looks like he's just going for a scout. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, maybe he gave up on any notions of proxies that he might have had.
Checking for a scout though, he's still rallied to the 3rd base location. Ottr went hatch first. He's gonna see it on the way out. He's totally got a potential for.
Oh yeah, 2 SCVs going down there.
Oh wow. Yeah, no, he's planning something cheeky.
Yep. Personally, a bit over this. Get out of my base. Get off of my lawn.
Get off of my lawn. Yep, he's constructing
And
a
we're
barracks.
oh, there's the barracks.
Here we go. First cheese of the weekend, actually. We haven't seen any cheese this weekend. And Bert's bringing it to us. Double racks, double proxy.
Oh. Sometimes we get weekends where people challenge printf, and it's all we see for some reason. In addition to not only that game, it's like everybody's uses. And then other games, other weekends, we don't see it at all. Anyway, this Overlord's going to wander into the base. It's going to see nothing from this angle, but that's not really where you expect tech buildings to be, so this doesn't actually say anything to Ottr just yet. But there's no Marines coming over to shoot at the thing. That should make her nervous. She's going to eventually see the front, but not before the production has already begun. Get out of my airspace! What is that? It's supposed to be, by the way, the thing we're looking at. Not the Overlord, the thing below it.
There's a biodome.
Is it a biodome?
Maybe it's a water reservoir.
I mean, it's spinning. For some reason.
Keeping the water pure.
It must be, because they actually noticed there's like a mechanical structure below that.
Mm-hmm.
Fascinating.
Some vents.
Now, the thing off to the left that's just glowing in red for some reason, that I couldn't tell you what that is.
No idea.
No idea. It's just fancy sci-fi stuff.
Fun doodad science. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna chalk it up to science that we don't know.
Yes.
Oh, Bert is proxying 4 barracks.
Whoa!
Not only 2.
This is a little overkill. I don't think he can actually produce out of all of them.
Well, if he can upgrade to orbital command and get some mules out, maybe he could keep up with it. But yeah, he doesn't have enough workers for this. This is going to be quite
In fact, he
silly.
should probably stop producing SCVs. He's going to do this. Like, I don't think one way or the other. Maybe he does have enough workers for it. Well, in any case.
This is super scary. Ottr doesn't even know about this. I mean, not even a hint. Oh, she sees the Marine.
She sees it now, and now she's going to lose an Overlord, which is going to be super frustrating as it's going to supply blocker.
She spotted it, though. She sees the barracks. And SCVs
Blood
are being
explodes. She needs to start throwing down spine crawlers. They're going to be pretty hard to build bunkers on the creep, but there you go.
Yeah, we got 1 bunker down.
Haha, GG.
Ottr GG's. Expanded first, little build order loss there.
Yep, it happens. I mean, like I was talking about, there's that fast, aggressive attack that Terrans can do against the standard expansion of a Protoss, which is also similarly effective.
Alright, make sure the players are ready here. Last game. Going to best of 5. Best of 5. Lonnie Research. They're even 2-2 as of this. Get the lobby set up.
Lameop.
The map.
Meop. Fuck. Shig.
Bertrang throwing out his favorite Twitch emote. The what face? What face? Flat.
What?
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 Oh, accidentally made Ottr a spectator. No, I don't want to do that. I mean, she could watch her demise, but that would be difficult.
Mini Kappa.
Mini K.
It's Mini K.
Mini K.
Yep.
Mini.
I'm not sure what it's from because it's in a separate bar than like the main ones.
Ah,
That might be
better
Turbo.
Twitch, isn't it?
I think
Oh,
it's
no,
Turbo. I don't
Turbo,
have better
Turbo.
Twitch activated anymore. I have Kappa HD
Ah, it is Turbo.
and Ribbon Pepperonis. Do. It's do rather.
Do.
That's the other Turbo one.
Do.
Sandstorm.
Do.
Yep.
Alright, players are ready. Let's get us into game 5 here. EVZ. Ottr versus Bertrang. Vonnie Research Station. So, rushes are a little more difficult on this map, unless of course he decides to proxy again, but I don't think we'll see that.
No, it might not be a bad idea though. I mean, he saw just kind of get Ottr pretty hard right there.
Yeah,
So he might be thinking something similar at least.
That'll really psych you out too. I mean, cheese has a huge psychological effect as well.
It definitely does, and it varies based on the person. Some people it just makes them angry, and it doesn't change anything about the way they play. Other people, it doesn't make them angry, but it like wrecks their ability to focus. And of course, the opposite, which is the expected.
Put them on tilt.
Yep.
Yes, spawning us here, bottom, and side. Almost said corner of the map. It is the blue Zerg player, Ottr.
So there's an SCV in the base. Not supposed to be here this early for scouting.
He's definitely got a good scout, but he's building a supply
Oh,
depot?
he's being a dick. Okay. This is something you do to Protosses, but you do it with an engineering bay because it can get a lot more health. But the problem is this is his first supply depot, so he kind of doesn't want to lose that. The thing is, I don't think she's going to notice this is even here for a very long time. She has not. I don't think she's used to this kind of thing happening with Terrans. Puts it in the ground.
He actually lowers it.
Too bad it doesn't burrow in that situation. Now she's going to see it come from the right of her. This should make her feel real nervous.
And
Yep,
she goes,
she's like, what are you
check out the
doing?
drone.
What are you doing?
Two.
Oh.
Oh, no. So, unfortunately, depending on the player, he could have just shot himself in the foot.
Yeah, she might just cheese him now.
Just cheesing would be perfect if you open
Like,
pool first and...
Yeah, throw it on spawning pool, grab banding this, run across the map. He's not going to have some proper defenses. And then you kill the good thing about that, too, is you put one ling on the thing and just kill it so it dies right before that. Nope, but she takes the reasonable response, which is just take the other base.
reasonable responses. Who needs those? Screw reasonable.
I want to see people act like insane people.
I like Ziracu's decision there instead. Just go straight for the gold base. Be perfect. They never expect the gold base.
Beatrix throwing the gaze of mana at us. Nice guy. Soulless stare.
Oh, snap. Oh, no, I read that wrong. No, Beatrix suggesting gold base. Not Ziracu. Ziracu is asking why Zergs expand outside.
Yeah, to be honest, if you're going to take this risk where you're just putting it out there anyways, why not just go for the gold? But I guess at this point, it would have been cited by the SCV. So maybe it does have that downside.
Totally true. Got an Overlord here in the Terran base. Not going to quite see much except 4 workers on one gas. Hopefully figures that out soon, because you're losing a couple hundred minerals a minute. Ah, there he goes. He's got it. A little bit of a lull. Ottr going into Zergling speed. 1 gas.
19, 20 workers. So about equal in that sense. About equal in armies as well. Pretty much not looking at any differences yet. With the delayed expansion, though, Otter's economy will take off a little bit slower, and it looks like Bert wants to take advantage of that by building up his army a little bit earlier, perhaps, for some aggression.
Perhaps. 3 overlords, or no, 2 overlords in this case. Quite tactically positioned here. Checking.
Is she able to see the natural? Actually, I don't think so. Like, she doesn't have anything on that base to the right. A little bit.
Well, she wasn't quite close enough. No, there she goes. She's moving.
Check it now. She's curious. She's like, that's something that a lot of players will do in order to get an economic lead. Are you getting an economic lead? Oh, dear. The next thing you say to yourself when you see that he doesn't have an expansion.
Exactly, and then suddenly 15 Marines are knocking your door down.
Or she can put a real wrench in this just by killing the supply depot, though.
I know. Yeah, she could totally knock this off. He's been notorious for supply blocks in this series. 36 out of 43. Probably shut this down.
Are these... this is where I'm like, are the Lings going to be rallied over? No, she's rallying them across the map. Ah, too bad. 1 Ling right there. Can't be repaired. Can't lift off and run away.
Would be beautiful. She's watching it very closely, though, just in case it makes any sudden movements.
Well, I mean, it's not like they can warp in or anything.
Yep.
Islands are a little more threatening than other supply buildings in most cases.
And supply depot just does a dance in your face.
Oh, yeah, she's sending them out there. She's not going to do that at all. That's too bad. It's such a good opportunity right there. They will die eventually when she tries to take a third, though.
Out here.
Hello! Forces caught out in the middle of nowhere with no kiting. Ah!
Okay, Okay, free units. Num 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 num. All these wings going up. And all these moves rod. Yep, there we go. All
Yep,
units
now she senses weakness. 26 lings coming out on the way.
Ah, my goodness. Front is very lightly defended. Got a couple Marines here, so I mean, you're not going to break down the wall, but just
No,
that.
it's that will stop everything without banelings, basically.
Force out front, though. No, don't rally him up. No, what are you doing?
That's
I
not.
don't want to do that. There's no repair on the supply depot. He's pulling so many SCVs in reaction.
Baneling nest is going down.
Baneling Nest, she knows what she wants to do.
I guess going the SCV, the supply depot isn't really necessary now. He's got extra supply thanks to losing a bunch of units.
Kind of freed up his own supply by mistake.
So let me help you with that supply depot problem you're about to have. Not in a way that he appreciates, though.
Got 3 overlords watching it now. Don't you dance. You sit there. You sit still. 4th one coming in. Join the party. Slowly.
You know, I'm just noticing the edges of the main base, like on the where that cliff goes down to the lower ground. There's like 5 different doodad walls. This one has red flowers. This one has green ones. This one's yellow, orange. This one has vines on it. This is a fan.
Attention to detail. That's why we love Blizzard.
I mean, it's just somebody spent at least a day probably on that.
Exactly. Hours, at least. Days. What they get paid for. I'd love to get paid to build maps. That'd be awesome.
It'd be pretty cool.
Now this ominous giant ball of blue is waiting to do its duty here.
So this siege tanks, nope. Bunkers, nope. This will probably do a lot of damage if Bert, especially if Bert doesn't react immediately. He'll just lose all of his bio.
Man, and all she's got to do is wait for this roly-poly upgrade.
I wonder if she's gonna even wait for it. Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
Not gonna.
I'm kind of okay with this. I probably should back the wings out slightly so they break.
Oh,
There you go.
busting
I'm gonna
in.
waddle right in. He split his units up, but there's too many banelings, so everything dies. They're everywhere. Don't shoot everywhere.
Oh man, and the SCVs. The boys are
Yep.
cold. Wings
I
with
think
speed.
that's it.
Nail in the coffin here.
GG left.
GG, well played. Good manner there. Ottr takes the series 3-2. Long series, great. Very well done. Very well done. Pull these players in the sky. Have our exit interview.
Meanwhile, our players are saying, for our next match, we're saying vaguely false things at each other. Bert, welcome back. We'll get started once Ottr gets here.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Stare into the soul of this game. Minister. That is a good emote. Reminds me, by the way, Day 9's actually been just laddering Hearthstone for the past month. Probably gonna try to make another go at Legend, I imagine.
Interesting.
But he keeps trying to make Shadow Priest work, which is fun.
Shadow Priest is scary if done right. There we are. There we are.
All right, we've got both of our players back. First off, of course, congratulations to Ottr for winning, and to both of you for going to 5 games, because that's pretty awesome, all things considered. And we'll do our usual thing. So we'll start off with Echo. Talk about Echo. can remember it. Whoever wants to go first, go ahead.
I'm trying to remember it.
Trying to remember it? Okay.
All I remember is Thors, unless I'm
Oh,
remembering
yeah.
wrong. Yeah, screw Thors. Thors are terrifying.
Okay, so it's simple review to get your mind going here. Basically, what happened in this game is Ottr builds up to what I believe was a pretty effective Baneling attack. I'm trying to remember how that started. Something happened, and Bert ended up against the wall, and Thors came out and killed everything twice.
Yep. So I was going for a certain build. I messed it up several times along the way because I haven't practiced it in about a week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically Thors, mines, and then some Marauders. I was expecting her to go to Mutalisks, which Thors would have, really taken out quite quickly. And of course, mines are always good, especially against Banelings.
Yes.
I'm not one for tanks, so I did try that later on, but I was just I was slow expanding. I really wasn't, throughout the series, I really wasn't pressuring her at all, so I kind of let the Zerg over on the map.
Yep. Just simple numbers game at that point, I guess.
Yep.
However, it was fairly interesting for Ottr, I think, from her perspective.
Interesting is not the word I'd use, but okay.
Yeah, so how did you... Probably feeling pretty good for the first half of that, right? And did a lot of damage, kind of backed him into a corner, and most of his stuff is dead. And then the Thors are there, and you're like,
Yeah, Thors scare the crap out of me. I'll be honest. Any game that involves anything with mech, I don't know how to fight Terran at all. I'll say that. But when it comes to mech, I know even less. So it's just like, well, what is this? Well, I'm just gonna throw this and hope it works. That's literally the entire thought process with that. I saw Thors, I scared the crap out of me.
Yeah, a little repair on the Thors, kept them alive for a long time. But yeah, going up to 5 bases definitely worked out well for you. Eventually, we were able to push them down. But it was interesting to watch. Reminded me of some games that I've played where I'm like, am I slowly killing myself, or am I winning? I can't really tell. But in any case, the second map was on Cactus Valley. This one a little bit better for Bert. Started off with a nice little aggressive 10 Reaper attack.
Yeah, Reapers are my go-to unit. It's like my standard build is harass with 6 to 10 Reapers, and then kind of switch into bio as fast as I can.
It worked out pretty well there, though. It got kind of crazy toward the end. Turned into a little bit of a base race.
Yeah, I had about 800 minerals saved up, so I wasn't being cheap by lifting my CCs. I was actually landing them in the lower right and the upper mid, so that way I could continue, my economy. And I had one Marine patrolling the bottom of the map, so I knew she didn't have any bases down there, so there was only 2 or 3 places she could have expanded. So,
yeah, okay. How'd that look from your perspective, Ottr? It actually did get kind of close a couple times, I thought. That game in particular.
I didn't think so. I honestly thought I was behind pretty much that whole game. And Reapers are just terrible people.
Yes. You mean amazing, right?
Terrible people with drugs.
When you're the Terran.
Yes, when you're the Terran, yes, they're great. No, yeah, actually, that last in basically that base race element of it. I think your army before the engagement occurred probably could have killed his. Like that's how close it was.
Yeah.
You were not in a position where in a head-on fight, the outcome was actually clear yet. So it was kind of interesting that it turned into the situation that it did. But in any case, the game is over and done with. We're going to game 3, Expedition Lost. This time Bert decides to go into siege tanks. And he has an unbelievably nice defense at the front. Fortunately, that's not where he got that.
It looks so beautiful.
That was really cool. It was like 3 Widow Mines spaced out in front of the ramp. It was 2 bunkers, 27 siege tanks, more missile turrets than I cared to count.
Well, yeah,
It's like, oh man.
I scanned her base and I saw the spire, and I'm like, oh, I'm sitting on more than 1,000 minerals. Time to just build turrets everywhere.
But yeah, did you come up with the thought of going for the back door from the beginning, or is that just kind of in response to seeing how much was at the front?
You know what? I'm gonna be completely honest, and I'm gonna sound like an ass. The only reason I attacked from the back was because I messed up my creep spread and it
Oh.
went to the side. And so I was like, well, I wanted to attack on creep. I was like, well, screw it. I'll just go on this side then. I didn't even know it was at the front. I never saw anything.
Oh.
It was because I accidentally veered my creep off to the right. And so I was like, well, screw it. I'm just going to stay on this. And then stuff was on the other end. I was like, I'm really glad I screwed up. So no, that was entirely accidental.
Oops.
I had no idea.
Oh, that works out. Unfortunate. But ultimately end up, of course, able to run things down from there, hit the production pretty hard. So I think it was pretty difficult for Bert to build back up from there. But of course, that was game 3. So game 4 was on Coda. Bert was able to take this one. I want to talk about this one, judging by that laugh. So go ahead.
I really wanted to play game 5, so I was like, I'm just gonna cheese. And I know she almost always does hatch first, so I knew she didn't have an army.
I thought about, honestly, we were actually talking about that beforehand. We're like, oh, we really haven't seen anyone cheese in a long series yet. Like, actually all weekend at all. So it was a little bit weird. And then, like, first thing that happens is it's like, I screwed up my build. Then you send out the SCV to scout, and we're like, that timing feels funny. Is he putting out? Yeah. And then the second one left the base, and we're like, oh, okay, we know what he's doing. But
yeah, I think I built my my supply depot to supply early, so that way I could send my SCV to scout a little earlier.
Whoops. Oh well. In any case, yeah, it ended up being the right choice. Didn't matter. But yeah, then we had game 5 on Bonnie Research Station. Looked like you went back to your bio play for this one, Bert.
Yes. I should have opened with Reapers. I completely forgot about doing that. I think that would have helped me out probably quite a bit. And then I was going to start working. I was building a factory because I know she loves her Baneling busts.
Yeah.
So I was going to put out, again, 3 or 4 mines in the front. But
oh, yeah, and you also got kind of cheeky with the supply depot.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about that. Like, do you do that a lot? What happens when you do? I'm curious.
No, that was the first time I did that. I'm like, oh, okay, so we both have easy expansions. How can I screw this up for her? And of course, she just expanded on the other side, and I didn't apply pressure.
Yep.
I was trying to swoop my units around the side, but...
No, yeah, I wanted to ask, though, if you had done this a lot, because I know with Protoss is if you put a pylon in front of their natural, there's like at least a 50% chance that the Zerg just flips out and attacks you. They're like, screw this. I'm not building my expansion in a place I don't like. I'm just going to murder you. And I'm like, no, I didn't prepare for this. I die.
Well, like...
Consequently, I stopped doing that. But, beside the point. I was actually half expecting Ottr. I was half expecting you to send like 1 Ling over there and just break it. I was surprised
it wasn't doing anything.
It was being a harmless little supply depot.
Yeah.
Fair enough. It ended up not mattering either because you caught his army out in the middle of the map and essentially gave him extra supply anyway. So, just like, whatever. But yes. And then from there, of course, it's a Baneling bust, a lot of Banelings. Kind of hard to do anything about that, even with like perfect splitting, unless you have like a Widow Mine. So it's just a rough situation.
I tried, didn't work.
Yep.
Anyways.
Well, in any case, thank you both for playing tonight as well as completing your series. It was very fun to watch. We have one more after this for tonight. That's going to be ZRQ versus Ghost Gambit. So we will catch you guys in a couple minutes for that one.
Yeah, thanks for having us and hosting, and I can't wait to see the next game.
Yeah.
All right, thank you for playing.